Like, there is more chaos concerning Prophet Mboro being in court and the whole jazz. So I wanted to do a small little update episode here. But also remember, yesterday I did an episode concerning that supposed I am the Son of God, I am Jesus Christ's second coming. You remember that guy? Yeah, I did leave a little bit more on the table. And so I've come back here so that I can do a little bit more of an update concerning his story, why his cases didn't surface up, why he never got arrested earlier, how far was he actually wanted, what is the extent of his crimes and stuff like that. Share the show with daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here to be sure, check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and I'm gonna check you out over there. All right. So first, let's start with Mboro. So he appeared in court yesterday, and I did see that apart from him appearing in court, his son has an interview. Now, in the interview, the son goes to say, he doesn't know why his father has a kidnapping case out, because he didn't open a case out. Okay, based on the information we have, on the information we should be speaking about, is that there was a legal guardian over those kids. So the kidnapping case comes from that, is that you are not, yes, you are the father. That's not being denied. Is that you are not the legal guardian. The mother, the grandmother is the legal guardian. And so that's the law. That's how things work. We don't have fish brains. We remember. We cannot remember that, hey, this is why this happened. And so when he says, I didn't open the case, yeah, it's okay. I'm going to leave that alone. But I don't understand why they speak like this, okay? You can try and look innocent, but we all understand the reasoning around why the kidnapping subject is. Anyways, so he had an interview. I'm not even going to play that. You want to look for that, you can go look for that. And so then he speaks about his father. His father has given up a lot of things for him and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. The reason why I'm not even going to talk about that is because they have enough people to publish that. So I'm not going to be here trying to state that, no. They have enough people in their team, their social media people, to publish that. I don't have time for that. So there's been this footage that has been going out of the church members. There was another one before this. You see them praying outside the court and stuff like that, and they were doing the whole, I stand with Prophet and the whole nanhwajes. Now, I want to repeat, the charges that are concerning this person is that he went and he did things that were endangering to other people. You cannot be blind to that. If you say you are blind to that, something is wrong with you. Means you have no concept of justice. You see, you should not allow yourself to come to a point where you believe being in support of someone, you must ignore the areas of their wrong. If I was my child in that school, I would not want to be there. I would not want my child to be there. If I was the teacher and I was supposed to be protecting the kids, of course, I'm not going to allow somebody just to come and take the kid. Right? It's kind of their responsibility. And so the fact that you don't think about, if you were in that role, how would you have to act? It's concerning. That's what a person who acts out of righteous judgment thinks. Of another subject concerning this, I don't want to make a separate episode concerning this. I'm just going to talk about it on this video. There's a video concerning something that happened with the court spot.
That it came as a surprise. We don't know who requisitioned the accused.
So the day they appeared, because like right now, if you listen to the videos, one of his advocates is saying, you know, this is unjust. It's supposed to be in thingy. It's an urgent matter, and the whole nine watches. And the NPA put this very well. They said they're trying to use the idea that you should just appear as often as possible until you get your bail. But they do not control, the NPA does not control the dates, or what dates are given, or what courthouse is given for what. The NPA is not responsible for that. The justice system is. So they kind of highlight that. And so it makes sense. Because the lawyer then goes on to say, hey, they are claiming they didn't have a court. It's a delay tactic. No, it's not a delay tactic. They don't have jurisdiction to say, yeah, we want this date. Okay? Now, this particular thing that she mentions here, that the other day when they actually had to appear, actually they were not supposed to appear. This was actually postponed to a later on date. So the question is, who brought our plate just now?
And we are of the view that the accused appeared unlawfully before her, and she entertained it. She did not ask, how is it that you are here before me? I know I postponed your matter to October. I see you now before me. Where's the document that states that you must be before me? Because we cannot find that requisition form on the court records.
Okay, so if they put a certain date, that's the date you're supposed to appear. You can't fast forward the day for when you're supposed to appear. So the NPA says that the letter or that particular document in record of this case being handled in the court, it's not there that says when the date was shifted. Otherwise, the NPA would have been ready, and what does it say? We were caught off guard. Now all of a sudden we were supposed to appear because the date was a little bit ahead. How is it that this was actually even entertained? Because it should have not been entertained on the base that you get it. So
we have instructed the investigating officers to follow it up with correctional services as to how the accused was brought before court. Secondly, also we've led evidence of the prosecutor. He has indicated and talked about the remarks that were made by the presiding officer to him as an officer of the court, to say, why are you guys so harsh to Mutweni? What has it done to you? And we believe that as the state, it's an inappropriate, those are inappropriate remarks, because the presiding officer had and entertained the matter before her. Bail proceedings in their nature, they are an inquisitorial fact-finding mission.
Now, you can go and watch that video. Quite an interesting way that she puts it there. So you will hear there that she mentions the subject matter of statement being made. Oh, you are being harsh on Mboro because it's famous. You see, she says that's something you can't say, because it shows that we are no longer dealing with the case on thing. We're now dealing with feelings now. We're not dealing with feelings, because it's now, how do you feel? How do you feel that you are being treated harshly and stuff like that? Now, do we understand? That's why I'm saying, do we understand what the case is pertaining? Is that innocent teachers were threatened and whatnot, and all that kind of stuff, kids traumatized and what? That's the question here. Okay, should not forget that. You know, when you now are in the chair, now we must all agree. No, we don't agree that you're innocent concerning that. The case is gonna go on, but we as a society, when we see that, we're like, okay, clear, Mandems was offline. I don't owe you agreeing with you. Other cases that they deal with, okay? If you've ever been to a bail hearing, like if you listen to the things that they were saying there, like if you've ever been to a bail hearing, I've been to a bail hearing. They were actually released, right? And the case was later on dismissed because they found the facts were just very much clear a little bit. So if you've been to a bail hearing, you'll know that there will be like a list of cases that they're dealing with that day, okay? And it just comes one case after the other, one case after the other. So you don't actually know when this particular case will come up and whatnot. They have other cases that they are dealing with in their roster and stuff like that. And so we are not ignorant of, we shouldn't be ignorant to the fact that the court has other cases that they have to deal with, right? And so we feel like we should be priority and then now start speaking somehow. Personally, I don't see that as an honorable thing. I mean, like, we know you're a religious person. You don't have to think, don't have to show a certain image. So that we are reminded, we know you are a religious person. We might not agree with your version of religion, but we know you are religious. You don't have to show it. Like, you don't have to show. The Bible even speaks about that. It speaks about acting as, hey, you know what? With these people, they just exhausting. People that don't understand the church, that don't understand Christianity, they are exhausting. I want to lie. Now, anyways, I'm going to move on now to the second story in this one here, which is Quiboloy, Apostle Quiboloy, the man them that said that he was Jesus. This guy. Guys, now on the first episode, I did somehow forget to mention the reason why this guy kept getting away with issues. He kept getting away with issues because he was friends with the president. Now, I want to say that again. He was friends with the president, and that's why he kept getting away. He was friends with people in power. You see, when you see your pastor start running around wanting to be friends with presidents and people in government authorities and what, just pull back. Not in all cases, of course. Government people also need to find churches. Not in all cases, but in some cases, especially when they are constantly questioned concerning wrongdoing, Apostle was actually on the FBI's most wanted list. What? What? I didn't see that coming. He is actually on the FBI's most wanted list, and it states there for conspiracy to engage in trafficking by police. Now, what do they mean by that? Apparently, these guys were into the system so much that they were getting fake documents for people to be able to travel into thingy and whatnot. And remember, this gentleman used to be he had a charity organization that was supposedly for the protection of kids. The man them didn't believe an ounce of what they used to say concerning their supposed charity. And these people, funny enough, they always these false prophets and stuff, they always have a charity. Found out that he was using this just to get money out of thingy, and then he was living in luxury out of that money. These people could care less about people. They could care less about individuals. And so he was on the most wanted list of the FBI, also including his co-conspirators, the people that he was actually using to kind of help him with all these nonsensical behaviors that he was involved in. It's almost cultish when you listen to it. And like if you go back into some of these things that he was wanted for and stuff. And so they were getting fake documents to get people coming into to his environment, and then he would get kids into thingy, and then they were supposed to get involved with something called nighttime or whatever that was all about. It was concerning him engaging with people and whatnot and stuff like. And these women were involved in getting him the people or the kids and whatnots and stuff like that. Dodgy man stuff. The very same individual that was claiming that he's overcome his sin nature was heavy in his sin nature. Donations that actually were used for financial church operations and the lavish life of their leader. The members proved successful soliciting. So the members were used to solicit these funds, and the church allegedly were forced to enter into a whatnot marriage and fraudulent marriages and It's a lot. It's a lot. The things that you hear concerning these people is pretty wild. So you can go check it out. He was actually on the most wanted list. I don't know how I missed that part. He was on the most wanted list of the FBI. Man, them had gone over, and this has been from the period of 2021. Now, the reason why this thing actually ended up turning against him is because the new people in power, they were like, no, excuse me, how are you so wanted? Guys, I saw this in an article yesterday, but I didn't take it serious because I thought, what? That doesn't make sense. That sounds like too much. They mentioned that there was over 2,000 police officers that were actually sent to get this guy. Okay, 2,000 police officers. I thought that was wild. I didn't mention it because I thought, okay, maybe there was an error, clinical error. But they mentioned how big the yard of the church and what, and all the places that they had to search for him and what. So it was a very big operation to after they got a tip of where he was hiding, to go and find him. And so there are two the updates that I wanted to bring up here, just on the subjects, matters of things that we have talked about previously. Other episodes down to today will be down in the pinned comments, and I'm gonna check you out over there. I thought that was quite a much needed one to remind people we have memory and we remember the wrongs. Okay, we don't have baby fish brains. So when you say I'm innocent, we're like, oh yeah, and we completely forget what we knew like 2-3 weeks back. That's not our brain. It's insulting to think that thing, and also it's insulting to the character of God when you know what wrong was done, and then you come here and you know nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, like, come on, dude. You don't think God is deceived by you saying nothing. You don't think that just completely wise. Y'all need to really think about the things that y'all say there. It's Ricky. Y'all tell me your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll see you later.